Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Clash of the Correspondents. My name's Suj.
My name is James.
This is probably the most hyped of all of the Clash of the Correspondents.
What, just so we can dig
I feel
Tomo
like
out
this
for John
week,
Ludstrom,
I don't know if the boys have been listening, but I feel like I've hyped this one up more than any other. Today we have on Ben at FPL_Blade, who supports Sheffield United.
Otherwise known as Tomo.
Wouldn't you know? Yeah, Tomo. Happens to put six emojis of blades in every tweet going out there. How are we doing, Ben? You all right?
Doing good.
Nice. And we have Dan with us, FPL_Loco Lord, who must be on cloud nine with the 6 straight league wins, 15 straight league wins. You're going to win the league, aren't you, Dan?
Never say never, mate.
He's on the fence, isn't he? I don't blame him.
But yeah, really hotly anticipated. It's always, it's quite often one of the newcomers or what have you, where big clubs do get unstuck a little bit, like you've seen with Man City. And it wouldn't surprise me if it was this week, but Liverpool are going good guns. But Ben, let's start with you. You want the Merseyside double now, don't you, after last weekend?
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the season so far for Sheffield United?
If you give me 8 points to start the season after 6 games, I'll just snap your hand off. Yeah. So, the performances have been there. We've been in every game. Unlucky to lose to Southampton. McGoldrick missed a lot of chances. And the Leicester game, we lost to a great Harvey Barnes finish. So, but happy so far. Point a game, pretty much keeps you up. So, 8 points from 6. So.
Yeah, ahead of the current run rate.
Yeah.
What did you make, Tomo, of Wilder's comments after the game Saturday? I kind of picked up on it on the pod. It was really interesting.
The performance was the worst by far. I don't know if you saw me tweeting during the first half, but, we were sitting back. We couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together. We defended well. We had no outlet ball. I think that might be to do with McGoldrick not playing, linking the play up. McBurney had a knock right before kickoff and had an injection to play. So that also hampered us a little bit. Robinson had a knock. So the ball wasn't sticking up front at all. But we defended amazingly. I
think after Man City, Sheffield United are probably next on the list for most, especially in the attacking line, most at risk of rotation. You've got so many strikers that keep getting minutes here and there, and Robinson and Musset has come on and scored the other day, and McGoldrick and Billy Sharp obviously still there and thereabouts.
Yeah, Musset's the one's pushing to the team now.
Do you think so?
I think he's one to watch. Yeah, he's been impact player off the bench at Chelsea. Nearly got a goal. He was given an own goal, but he was in the mix. And then I don't know if you saw the goal this weekend, but that was a Aguero-esque finish. On that break, first time.
It was.
Did I just hear Luis Musset in the same sentence as Sergio Aguero?
He did. Well, what I was going to say is the pass was a Kevin De Bruyne-esque assist, wasn't it?
There we go.
Yep, I posted that on Twitter.
Do you want to get it off your chest, mate?
By Lundstrom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is probably the most loved player in FPL this season's FPL so far, possibly just behind Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, it's shocking as a Sheffield United fan. I know I've spoken to many Sheffield United fans about Lundstrom. He wasn't even in the mix. Like, we thought he was going to go out on loan in the off-season. He got those minutes in pre-season, but he's just took it game by game and being arguably the each game for us. So, he hasn't played much. He didn't play much at all last season. I think he started 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
But if he keeps playing like he is, interesting the weekend, Norwood took off at the weekend and Lundstrom stayed on, which, so I think Lundstrom's nailed at the moment, in my opinion. I don't want everyone.
We don't want a rerun of between game week 1 and game week 2, right? Of all of that nonsense. But that's the beauty of FPL and football. We're all so fickle. It's forgotten within 2 minutes straight away.
Yep. I got in my team game week 3, game week 4. So I got the 12 points this weekend. So happy days.
Yeah. Dan, let's move on to Liverpool, flying high at the top of the league. James and I are sticking with our triple Liverpool defence. You watch them week in, week out. We're sane, aren't we? We don't need a trip to the mental hospital, do we?
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
Thanks, Dan. Feel better now.
But on a serious, Dan, if you look at it, all of the games, like you've only conceded one in all of the games that you've conceded in, and add to that, if Alisson was fit, I think you could add at least 2 clean sheets to the tally so far this season. And you're actually defending really well. I think Van Dijk and Matip as a partnership are just by far and away the best centre halves in the league. Just the odd sloppy mistake here or there. You can't say you've been defending badly and conceding a lot of goals. The fundamentals of a good, solid defence are still there, and the attacking returns are still there.
The attacking returns, definitely. I think for that alone, you can keep them there, particularly Robbo and Trent. But, you know, they haven't been conceding a lot of goals, but they have been conceding chances. It could have been more. So I personally have come away from 2 to just 1, but that was meant to fit Triple City in. I just needed to get Triple City, but I'd have no problems going on double, but triple, I'd think twice about it.
Yeah. The start of the season, I think James and I are both convinced City were going to win the league. Week by week, it's actually not as solid as maybe I would have thought before the season kicked off. I don't know. What are your thoughts, James?
Yeah, I think it's the 2 injuries, isn't it? Alisson and Laporte, and we don't really know. We've obviously seen the Alisson injuries obviously impacted Liverpool because you've gone from world-class goalkeeper to, at best, good goalkeeper.
West Ham reserve goalkeeper.
Whereas, well, no, but with City, you're going from world-class centre-half, and I believe he is Laporte because of his distribution and the really style City play. He doesn't get tested in the way a lot of many other centre-halves do, and actually struggles sometimes. I think the sort of Spurs counter-attacking that opening half of the Champions League games, some of the games against Liverpool, he's not looked brilliant, but he won't get challenged too much. But again, there's a massive drop-off from Laporte to what might be playing now. And I think that the great impact might be on City. Plus, we think Alisson's probably a couple of weeks now. Yeah,
they were saying just after the second international break, Alisson should be back and ready to rock and roll, right?
Yeah, I saw a tweet today that he's already back in light training and he's doing some of the exercises with the other goalkeepers. So it's looking likely unless there's any setbacks, I would have thought.
They won't chance it though, because they won't want to come back and then he's out for 3 months. Like, If Alisson was out, I think, in all honesty, Dan, like if Alisson was out till say Christmas, you'd have a massive problem, because Adrian's he's ordinary.
Definitely.
I mean, James says that, but 6 and 6, right? Only conceding 1 in each game.
Yeah, no, he's made some good saves and this, that, and the other. It's not so much like Alisson's so much a better shot stopper or this, that, and the other. It's kind of the confidence he gives the rest of the defence with his distribution, with how good he is on the ball. It's kind of a relationship they built up really well last year, and then suddenly you've got someone in who's arguably as good as a shot stopper as Alisson, but it's the rest of his game that suffers that was a knock-on effect for everyone else.
Can I ask, Dan, do you think Van Dijk's pissed off at the moment?
Van Dijk?
He always looks so pissed off with Adrian every time he does something, like come off your line or play it out there. He's basically, it feels like he's talking Adrian through the game all the time, which is so unusual because obviously quite often a goalkeeper will talk his defence through a game. It feels like Van Dijk's almost coaching him through games.
He probably is. I mean, his influence on that team is unbelievable, and they've got used to a system so well last year with having very few injuries, and then he probably needs to talk him through it a little bit. Even though he's got a lot of experience, Adrian, he's not got a lot of experience with that back four. So, but that's what makes Van Dijk so good, as well as being a good player, is his organisation and he's talking to everybody and he gets everyone going. So he's probably not best pleased that Alisson's not there, but you've got to make do with what you've got.
From a Liverpool attacking point of view, which FPL assets are you currently on? Are you on Salah or Mane? Do you have an opinion on one or the other? Because it's always the debate, right?
Yeah, I've been on Salah from the start, and I'll probably stick with him unless I need to find an extra million somewhere. But I wrote an article a couple of weeks ago, and I said you pick one and stick on him, and you'll be fine. Salah or Mane, and then obviously there's Firmino showing his face, and Firmino's quite streaky, so get him when he's on a good streak and let him go. Which is now. Yeah.
I've been very impressed with what I've seen of his performances this season so far. I think it was just telling the game where he was dropped to the bench. it was Mane out of the two that was pushed into the centre forward position, not Salah. And that swayed my thinking towards Mane a little more, but then he blanked last week.
I think that was more to do with Origi being able to play on the left, but not so much so on the right. So it has to be Mane that comes in and not Salah. But yeah, he's a big miss when he's not there, isn't it? He just links up that team so well.
Yeah, even if he's not creative on the ball, it's his work off it. Not just people often think, his defence and his closing, but he pulls people out of position. That's the massive thing that allows
that's the biggest thing about
the two guys to go into the space.
Yeah,
and that's where they come in from the wing. He pulls the centre halves right into the centre circle, 20 yards away from the box, and that's where Salah and Mane get the space, and he does it so well. And you can't leave him to go into that space because he'll hurt you from that space then with a through ball or whatever. So you've got to go with it. He's brilliant.
To pull Tomo back in on this and sticking on Liverpool, how do you think they'll deal specifically with Firmino, Tomo? Do you think like an Egan will step out and go with him, or will it be up to like Norwood or Fleck to get round him, or Lundstrom? How do you think they'll deal with that? Because Firmino brings problems that not many other players can bring.
Yeah, I think Noah's going to sit deeper in this game and probably occupy that space. If you drag Egan out, then we're going to get exposed. But with Salah and Mane behind him. I know when we talked at the start of the season, I was saying I was very interested to see what was going to happen behind Basham and O'Connell in these spaces with Liverpool and Man City, and how they're going to expose it. So, are we going to play a low block like we did against Everton? I don't know. I'm a little worried.
No, that's fair enough, mate.
It's not often that you're quite optimistic like me. I think it's one thing we've got in common. Go into every game thinking you can win it. Now, your system is different, so maybe if you adapted it a little bit. I mean, Chris Wilder's wise. He's clever enough to have a game plan. He's not going to go into the game without a game plan, and it's at home, right? So there's every chance you could get something out of the game.
Yeah, but if we push on too much, we are, Stevens and Baldock, we're going to leave that space for TAA and Robinson, right? That's going to be another issue. So they're going to play deeper and more restrained. I don't know. I can see Mousset starting up front with McBurney and maybe having a little bit of an outlet with Mousset's pace. But it's going to be tough.
I feel like a term that will be important in this game, which we don't use much, is territory. And what I mean by that is Salah and Mane kind of cheat a bit in their defensive way. Both work hard, they both get back and get into position, but they're getting into positions where they can immediately counter-attack and expose. And one of the things that United do well when they have a dominance, which we don't expect them to have at the weekend, when they do have dominant spells in the ball, is obviously they overlap into the wide possessions, which, considering how far forward Robertson and CAA want to get as well, they really might get pushed back at the weekend. I wouldn't expect returns off those guys, oddly enough, at the weekend, unless it's from a clean sheet, oddly enough. It'd be interesting to see if United are brave enough to still try and overload into those areas, knowing what they might be leaving behind, and whether it forces Liverpool back as well. Yeah,
the flip side of Trent and Robbo pushing forward is that if Stevens does push forward, then their fullbacks have to drop back a little bit. Maybe there should be space there. You look at Trent and Robbo's positioning; they're wingers.
Yes,
they really are. So yeah. I don't know. But you've got to have balls to go out and do that against Liverpool, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree any more with James. I've been thinking about this a bit. I was talking to Tomo on Twitter earlier in the week and said I haven't really seen much of Sheffield United. So I've actually started to watch a few highlights since I've spoken about that. And it just depends how brave Sheffield United are going to be as to what this result will be. If they try to attack, overload on the wings, like you said, they're asking for trouble, because that's our strongest point. And Mane and Salah, particularly Salah, will cheat. And if you're brave enough to cheat and hope that your attacking play is gonna be better and not defended well, then you're leaving yourself exposed in them wide areas.
Do they cheat? Do they cheat, Dan, or is it just a perception?
Salah does, definitely. Mane will work a lot harder than Salah to get back. Salah will come to like 3/4 of the way, like a half of our defensive pitch, and he pretty much stops after that. Whereas Mane, you can see him, picking up the ball on the edge of the box, tackling at the edge of the box. Very rarely Salah does it.
We have to clarify. We're not saying the guys are lazy. This is intentional, tactical ploy to get yourself into a defensive position that's going to threaten the opposition when you win the ball back.
It's obviously a tactical ploy, and when you're playing these sides, are these sides going to be brave enough to say, right, well, I'll let you cheat, but I've got the space now.
It's frightening to do that against Liverpool, to be honest.
If you lose possession, I'm going to kill you. Are you brave enough or good enough to keep possession and not leave me with all this space down the wing?
See, the problem is, and this is where you bring Firmino back into the conversation, because I actually think that at times Sheffield United will be brave enough to go 3-on-3, but then it's the problem of how Firmino comes back towards the ball, and then do you go with him or do you just stand off? Really difficult one to call.
I think that's the case. And interestingly, I was looking at the big chances that Sheffield United have conceded, and all the goals they've conceded or the big chances they've conceded have either come from A, errors, or B, from the right-hand side, which is Trent territory for whipping them balls in.
He's such a good crosser of the ball. Let's talk about FPL. Tommy, you can hear us clearly?
Yep, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right. No worries. We've got you twice on the screen, but we're going to edit that out. So, there we go. Let's bring it back to FPL. Up until last week, sitting pretty in the FPL Correspondents League, Tomo, but now dropped down to second. But you're having a cracking season so far. Tell us how you've about your FPL season so far. Well, you're 79,000 now overall.
Yeah, 79,000. I did when I did wildcard. I think it was back in game week 4. I got Aguero in and pretty much captained him since. And I've actually gone triple City attack with Sterling, De Bruyne, and Aguero. Oof. So, and I've gone triple Liverpool, Adrian, Robbo, and TAA.
Yeah.
So, it's been working well for me. A little bit like James, I just don't see where I was going to captain Mane and Salah in this run. So I went without him instead. And Robbo and TA has been covering it for me so far. So with the assists and, TA's goal. So I'm pretty happy so far. I think I'm going to stick with a triple City attack for a little bit. And then I think Liverpool's fixtures change a little bit game week 14 and 15. So I might go Mane or Salah at that point.
Can I get your opinion on that, Dan? Because I've said it quite a few times about one of the reasons I'm not desperate to have Mane or Salah at the moment is I don't see me captain them maybe more than once, probably this weekend, Tomo, sorry. And that's why I'm going without until probably after the City fixture.
Yeah, well, I've had Salah since the start. I think I've captained him once.
Really?
And I won't be captaining him this weekend.
Wow. Goes and looks at Dan's team.
Yeah, who are you captaining this week? You're going to stick with City?
But saying that, I am 550k.
Which is actually pretty good this season.
Well, I was 1.7 before the weekend just gone, so I had a 1.2 million rise.
Yeah.
Just for one game week. So that's how tight it is. So all the managers out there are getting desperate. You can make up that ground with a good game week, couple of good game weeks back to back, and you're right up there again.
Yeah. I mean, the points difference between the two of you, I think it's like 30 points, give or take, and that's the equivalent of 400,000 places. You can make up 15, 20 points comfortably in a game week.
Or less than 1 point a week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to look at it.
Yeah.
So, there's not a lot at all. I think it's going to be at least another maybe 6 or 7 game weeks, in my opinion, before the table stabilizes. Because there's so much yo-yoing. I've been up as high as 600-700k. Now then went down to 2.7 million, back up to 2 million. It wouldn't surprise me if I was inside the top million next week, but then dropped back outside and stuff. I think it's going to take a while still, 6, 7, 8 weeks before the table stabilizes. I don't know what your thoughts, James.
I wouldn't have even looked at it really like with any serious conceptions until this week had gone. I think 6 game weeks. Back in the day, we never really used to look at league tables too. It was sort of like 6 games in.
Yeah.
And I feel the same with this. There's so long to go. What we got, about 85% of the season to go. There's so much can change. Like anybody in any position can win FPL. Convinced about that.
Yeah.
You'll just need, if you're miles behind, you'll need more differentials than others now. That's all.
Definitely. Some template players are coming up and rising to be thought about from the likes of Chelsea and what have you, as budget options. So yeah, it's interesting at the moment.
Dan.
Yo.
I'm looking at your team. I like it. It's nothing wrong with the team. I just can't believe that you've only got 2 Liverpool players.
I was desperate for Aguero, and the only way I could get him was with Trent's money. I had to get De Bruyne as well, and that's the only way. I regret it, and I'm umming and ahhing. I've made 2 transfers this week already because I had exact money, but I'm umming and ahhing whether to click the wild card, but I didn't want to use it just yet. But I'm still umming and ahhing because I think, as far as I'm concerned, there's 2 what people call essentials, and it's KDB and Trent. I think they've got to be in your side.
I've had my wild card in my pocket. I've got it out every week for the last 3 weeks. I've done a wild card team, tested it, thought about it, liked it, and not done it. And at some point, I'm gonna have to pull the trigger on it. I feel like I just know when the time's right, and I've played around with the team.
Yeah, no, well, I was the same, and I literally went like Tomo. I went for the triple City with the Norwich game in mind. Used my triple captain, which I never ever do on a double game week on Aguero.
Yeah.
Thinking they're going to absolutely smash Norwich, and look what happened. So this is why a lot of the big managers or the expert managers, experienced managers are struggling, because you've got results like that where Norwich are turning over City and stuff like that. And
that's very rare though.
It wasn't the wrong decision, in my opinion. You just were a week too early.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A week early.
Well, even last week I was gutted. How does City score 8 and he only gets 1 goal and 1 assist?
Yeah, it was mad. We talked about it on the main pod.
Yeah,
that was the best possible way City could have won 8-0, because all of the players that did pick up the points had such low ownership, it didn't come back and hurt you, other than KDB, who of the majority of people, especially in the top million or what have you, own. So very interesting.
I know, yeah, gutted.
Tomo, as we said, 8 points, obviously really good start. I just wanted to pick up on the upcoming fixture list, which you probably feel a bit more confident about, having just won at Goodison. It's a little bit daunting between here and probably game week 15 or so. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it is daunting. But, we've got games in there. I think we can pick points up. Watford away is one we should be looking at to pick points. Burnley at home. And then I'm not scared of Man United at home on game week 13. So
I don't know why you skipped West Ham away, mate.
Yeah.
Well, West Ham's been playing well, but West Ham as well. But then that run from 15 to 19, presuming everyone's got Lundstrom, I think I'm going to be doubling up with either Henderson or O'Connell or Baldock for that run of fixtures, because the way United's been playing, I think it's a chance for us to pick up a lot of points.
Yeah, mate. I think in December you could have a back line of Palace and Sheffield United. I think the pair of them have got great fixtures.
Yeah.
But you've given yourself a good start, mate, and I think that's all you can ask. What you obviously get with promoted sides is you do get that bounce of enthusiasm and adrenaline. The test hasn't come from you yet, where you've had that kind of really head-lowering result. You've lost 1-0, 2-1. You haven't lost away from home yet. So you haven't had a result where you've had to ask any questions of yourself, where you think, are we good enough or anything like that. And if you can stay away from that for a while, I think you'd be fine. I mean, me and Suj have been consistent from pre-season. We think you'll stay up.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is you got the same points as Tottenham, same points as Chelsea, same points as Man United. Just keep it that way, Tomo. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that Southampton game knocked us back a little bit, because we dominated that game. We scored the goal and VAR overturned it, and he swung the game. And that's one thing I saw in the Tottenham game, also Liverpool game this weekend. Those disallowed VAR goals swing the momentum of the game. It really does. So, Southampton, McGoldrick is killing me, because his XG is the 5th highest in the league. I saw. I think Adam posted that, Hopcroft did.
Yeah.
And he's getting the right positions. We talked about McGoldrick's start of the season. He's essential to how we play. But, he just can't score.
Who's the best forward there, mate? Yeah,
tough.
they're all the fucking same, aren't they? Just got different like
the
traits.
one I think is going to be the best is Musa.
Wow, that's really surprising.
You were on the live stream. You jumped on the live stream on Friday night. I don't know if you were on it when Manchild, who's sitting in the corner now, said he wanted to buy Liz Musette as a replacement for is a success from Watford, and we shut him down and said, "Nah, don't do that." What happened? Obviously, Musette scored the next day.
Yeah, he's looked good. I'm going to see how he does up until like game week 15, but maybe he might be my double up at 4.9 million.
He is cheap. You got to give him that. He is cheap. If he's playing week in, week out, you're better off with maybe 4.9 on him than bench fodder of Connor Wickham or Greenwood or whoever else people are at 4.5 maybe.
It's tough at the moment because we've got Pookie and Abraham and Haller and all those guys, Aguero, but that could change by then. Yeah, Burnley lads, but he's one on my radar. I think him and McBurney could start, but we'll see.
Good.
Dan, I just want to ask you on Alisson. By the time he's fit, he could well be 5.7, and his ownership will be, I don't know, 3% or something. I think it's 5.8% ownership at the moment. Is there a case for trying to go straight back to him if people are on, I don't know, sort of Loris, Pickford area, that kind of thing?
I'd say no. If you're going to spend 5.7, you may as well get Matip for a little bit cheaper. You've more chance of returns other than clean sheets. He's not going to get lots of save returns. We don't concede that many shots. I'd say Matip's probably the better option at a cheaper price if you wanted another defensive player other than the value expensive ones.
Yeah, I agree. The more I've thought about the downgrade Van Dijk to Matip, the happier I am with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think he's. A lot of people have asked. I think he's cemented his place in there, and it's his to lose, really.
You felt he was really unlucky to miss out opening day, didn't you?
I was shocked that he missed out opening day. To be honest, it must have been a right kick in the teeth for him after his performances last season.
He's bounced back and he's proved it, hasn't he? I mean, he's been solid, man.
And he is a threat on set pieces. And I think, in a sense, more so than Van Dijk, because he's the one who's watched a lot more, and their strongest, defender, header of the ball is on Van Dijk, and it gives Matip a little bit more space.
That's a great point.
Yeah, it is a very good point. As we do with Clash of the Correspondents, I want to know what you think the score is going to be. Tomo, what are you hoping for this weekend?
What am I hoping for?
What do you think it's going to be? All right, okay. What do you think it's going to be, realistic? Because we use these to put our bets on, do me and James? Gambling addicts.
We ain't making fucking money, I'm telling you.
Since I got triple Liverpool defence, I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be Byron, hopefully. But I can see Liverpool winning 2-0, especially with the early kickoff. I think that sometimes hurts the bigger teams. So I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
Also hurts atmosphere though, Tomo.
Yeah.
I think there'll be an atmosphere.
No, I think you're right, in fairness.
Yeah. Whenever the big boys are coming into town, I think first season back in the Premier League after a while, I don't think there's going to be any issue with atmosphere at the lane. Dan?
It's only one lane.
4-0.
Don't get him excited.
5-0.
No, I'm kind of with Tomo, really. I think it all depends on how adventurous Sheffield United are going to be. If they sit back, try and soak up the pressures on the break or get a set piece, 1 or 2-0 Liverpool. If they try and go for it being at home, they might get a little bit of pressure from the fans to do so, then it could be 3 or 4. It all depends how they settle, but I think they'll defend.
Do you think, Dan,
going for it?
Just to kind of cover that off again, so you've got Salah and Aguero, and you're going to captain Aguero this week?
No.
Oh, you are going to go Salah?
No.
You going De Bruyne?
No.
Oh, well, go on. He's going Jota.
I made a transfer and I brought Tammy in, so I'm going Tammy.
Okay, Tammy Abraham.
I can't see that, can I?
No, you can't see the transfers.
No, 2 transfers. Oria's in, Tammy's in, and I got rid of Jota and Dina. He's gone.
Right.
All right.
There we go.
Fair enough.
Guys, as always...
What do you think?
Well, the score?
Yeah.
3-0 to Liverpool. I'm going to go with 3-0.
He might not come back on, Tomo.
Why? Dan, we're going to do a little private clash of the correspondents when it's Sheffield United, West Ham, Sheffield United in a few weeks. We'll
Dan, I know you're really calm about things anyway. Do you get worried about these fixtures anymore?
Less so. I used to. 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, oh, here we go again. But these days, I'm so much more confident that these are fixtures in the past. Even Chelsea at the weekend, we would never have won that 2 or 3 years ago. We'd have bottled it, caved in, and that would have been it. And these kind of fixtures are always like a banana skin, but these days they're just so efficient the way they go about it, and Klopp's got them, even if they play badly, they play, they get the result. And no, I'm not that worried about this weekend.
I'll tell you what I do want to ask you before we let you go, before I say that I think 2-0 as well to them Blades, obviously. How good is Fabinho?
Fabinho's brilliant. Yeah, he's fantastic. In my opinion, there's only Kante who's better than him as a defensive midfielder in the Premier League, possibly even Europe. He just comes on leaps and bounds, every season. He's just getting better and better. If he plays badly, we look more vulnerable to conceding goals. And when he's on it, it's like he just sweeps up everything. He's in the way. He puts the tackles in. He breaks up play. With fouls if need be, he's top class and he's getting better and better.
When you think about Liverpool, it kind of compares to the discussion we was having about United Monday and about their spine.
Yeah.
You look at when they're all fit, Alisson, Van Dijk, Fabinho, Firmino, and you haven't even talked about Salah or Mane yet.
Yeah, that's the icing on the cake at that point. And I think I watched Klopp the other day when he picked up his coach award, and that guy he's a class guy. I don't want Liverpool to win the league. I don't know why. Probably just this chip on my shoulder or something about the earache. But I do like Klopp and what he's done with the club. I could happily have a couple of beers with that guy. I reckon it would be a good laugh going out on the beers with Klopp.
Yeah, brilliant. I love him. He's absolutely brilliant. And, I know United fans who like him, so he must be good.
Yeah, he really is carrying himself well. So, as always, guys, thank you for the articles and the stuff that you're putting out for the FPL community and the Planet FPL fans, the 6 of them that read these articles. There's a reason we don't put the stats out on how many people visit the website, because, the 6 people that do aren't happy about it.
You chat some shit.
No, we do. And we really do appreciate it. So it's always a lot of fun for the 3 days a week that I'm on Twitter.
You ain't on 3 days a week.
3 days a week, man. That's the allowance that I'm allowed.
Yeah, I'm lucky if I get 3 hours off a day.
Good. So good luck this weekend, guys, with your FPL teams, and obviously Sheffield United and Liverpool. Is hoping for a good game. We'll be watching because it'd be nice on the telly.
We got
Cheers,
next
fellas.
week.
Good luck, Tomo.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Who have we got on next week?
We've got Sam FPL Seagull. And
Brighton.
And our old mate Ricky Saunders.
The enigma of the season, Brighton are up there as one of the most confusing, frustrating sides. And obviously Spurs, we got lots to talk about with Spurs, which we'll do on Tottenham. I'm going to be talking about Spurs every opportunity I get after last night. Dan, are you ready for... It's MK Dons away for you guys tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hugely disappointed with Sky picking that game to be televised over Oxford versus West Ham, because I was hoping to get to see our third string or second string play, but
Suj just can't get his head around this pre-recording shit.
Well, true, fair point. By the time this goes out tomorrow, it's going to be irrelevant. You'll have beaten MK Dons 8-0.
And you'll have lost to Oxford.
Yeah, and everyone will have been able to see how good Ryan Brewster is.
Okay, watch out for that.
There we go. Cool, guys. Thanks again. James, anything to add?
No, thanks very much, guys. Good luck this weekend.
Ciao for now.
Cue music, man, child.
The Fantasy Football Show.